In 1986, the Lord took me to the future. 5 times, 5 days in a row. And I'm going to share that story with y'all on the things that I saw. It all started on a, please excuse my voice. I'm kind of hoarse right now. It all started on a Thursday. It was the end of the school year in St. Louis, Missouri, where I stayed at. I went to Langston Middle School. I stayed on a street called Bird, Burt, Bird and Maffitt. That was the corner. But it was like a little half street right there across the street from my house. And that was called Powers. So on Bird and Powers. Or you can say Bird and Maffitt. I got suspended from school on a Thursday. I got suspended from school for a fight that I had at school. I wasn't a violent person. I was pretty much an artist, but I used to play in class when I got my work done. I used to hurry up and finish my work and then play because I was smart, you know. So me and my friend kind of clowned around too much that day, and the teacher just wrote us up as fighting, and we literally got suspended for that. So I took the paper home, gave it to my mother, who was a minister. She was a preacher back then. She passed away last year. Um, and she said I was on a punishment. Since I was suspended from school, I can't go outside and I can't go out and play. So I was like, okay. The next day was Friday. I went to the window to look out the window and see my friends walking home from school so I could ask them like what happened at school today and you know what people saying about the fight or what was supposed to have happened. The school was literally on my street on Bird, like a block down, 1 block from my house. You can Google it. Um, I was looking out the window, waiting on my friends to walk past. My mother was in the other room working on a sermon. Everybody else was gone to school or work or something like that. So I heard somebody walk into the room. I heard footsteps. I turned around and I thought it was my mother. But I turned around, it's a man, tall as the ceiling. And he was muscle built, like a bodybuilder. And he was jet black. His skin looked like leather. He had legs like horse legs, like giant horse legs with low cut hair on it, black. He had horns coming out the side of his head and protruding forward. And I seen his facial features. He would be what a lot of women probably would consider attractive or something like that. But he walked in my room and walked up on me. And he said, "Do you want power?" As he pointed at me. Now remember, I'm 14 years old. I ain't know what he was talking about. I didn't accept it or nothing like that. I just kind of like covered my face, like, and then instantly I'm thinking like, dude, what are you doing? So I looked up and he was gone. So I ran in my mother's room and I told her what happened. And she said they was having a revival at church that night that I need to go. That starting that Friday night and it was gonna last a week to kick off the summer, you know. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going. You know, after a situation like that, you know, this guy just pop up in the house. So I go to church, I give my life to Christ, all that. I come home, and I'm still scared to go sleep in my room at night. So remember the dude that walked in my room with the horns coming out his head? It was 2 o'clock in the afternoon when that happened, daytime, sunny outside, end of the school year. You know, because I was waiting on my friends to come home from school. Remember? So my mother came in the room and she blessed. She put a blessed olive oil. She kind of flung some on the walls, and she put some on my forehead. And we prayed. She said, "Pray with me." So I prayed with her, and I felt good. Right, I felt like everything was okay. I went to sleep. Right, I woke up thinking it was the next day, fresh and new, and it wasn't. It was the middle of the night, but I was up fresh, like it was a new day. And I looked next to me. It was a giant angel sitting on the floor next to my bed. He was huge. If he would have stood up, he'd been tall as the building. He was crunched in the room with his head ducked down because the ceiling was right there. He had giant wings that flipped up under as he sat down with his hands around his knees, cupping his knees. He had on sandals that laced all the way up to his knees. He had on some type of skirt or something, like it was from ancient times, an ancient warrior. And he had like this, he didn't have on no shirt. He had like a leather strap going across his chest, like, and he had on wristbands. And his hair was like big curls smashed to his head like he just took off a helmet. He had a sword that was on the floor in front of his feet, just stretched out in front of him. And the killing thing about all this, the amazing thing about all of this, is what he was made of. Take all different color lights, purple, pink, blue, green, turquoise, orange, yellow, white, and just like flicker them and sparkle them in one area like you're at a nightclub or something. But if I have all different color lights, bright and beautiful, and if you was to carve the silhouette of a man out of that, that's what he looked like. And the sword he had was made out of the same stuff. He was sitting there just sparkling from the inside out. That's what I saw. Now, I'm an artist. I draw. I do art and all kinds of stuff like that. I make things out of leather. I make all kind of clothing. I make stuff. I draw. I do cartoons, animation. I'm just an artist. So I had a pad and a pencil next to my bed because I was drawing the night before. So I drew him, and I put the paper under my pillow. And I was like, I'm going to go to sleep in the morning. If this paper here, this really happened. I woke up the next morning, that paper was there. I ran and told my mama. She said, Lil John, that's what they called me because my dad's name was John. She said, Lil John, you need to stay in your word. You need to stay in that Bible and just do right by God. God dealing with you right now. I ain't know what none of that meant. Nobody really helped me, and she was rushing off to go preach at different churches that whole weekend and stuff. And I never had nobody to teach me or tell me nothing back then. So I had to learn over the years all by myself, y'all. I had supernatural encounters with demons that jump out on me when I'm outside, at home. Angels, all kind of things have happened to me throughout the years. A week after this incident I'm telling y'all about right here, a man opened a door in the middle of my living room while I was eating dinner. And I can look through the door and see clouds in the sky and grass. And it was another world in a door right in my living room that opened. It was about a half a foot off the ground. I ended up stepping through that with the 4 different worlds with this guy, this messenger from God. That's a different story, though. Back to the story. So this whole time I'm calling my cousin, Erwin, who stay across town in a county called Jennings. And you can take one bus to his house, the Hampton bus, and go down a street called Goodfellow, which is up the street from my house. So this whole time I was calling him, telling him all the stuff that was going on, and he wanted me to spend the night and stuff. So that Saturday morning, my mama gave me change to go catch the bus and spend the night. So that Saturday morning, I woke up after I found out the picture was there. Mom told me to stay in the Word. Early as possible, I want to get on that bus so I can go hang out with my cousin, have all day to kick it, you know. So this is where things get crazy, y'all. I'm walking down the street, right? It's like 2.5 blocks maybe, or 2 blocks to the bus stop. I'm walking down the 2nd Street, right? And I stumble, over buckled concrete, like old concrete kind of buckle up. And I kind of stumbled, but I didn't fall down. I kind of caught myself, kept walking. Well, I stumbled it instantly. I was not on that street. It was not a sunny day in the morning. I was standing on top of a hill in grass and bushes, and it was the middle of the night, and it was raining. And I saw America being invaded by a giant army. The guys in all black battle gear, ready, helmets, big old guns. They had machines I never saw before that float in the air, that levitated. Okay, I'm going to go into the rest of this in the next video, y'all, but this is the first time I went to the future. My whole body went, and this happened to me 5 times, 5 days in a row.